Mandatory evacuation is in effect for parts of Terrebonne Parish for people who do not have levee protection.
Right, and of course the folks down there are getting far too used to picking up and leaving. And Erica Ferrando spoke with them today as they get ready for more rising water. And she joins us live in Cocodrie. Our hearts just go out to them.
Well, they're getting a little too used to this. We're right along Highway 56 right now, and you can see that floodgate behind me is actually closing right now. It's a little slow, so I'm not sure how well you can tell, but it is closing. All of the floodgates in Terrebonne Parish, once this one closes, will be closed. There is a mandatory evacuation in place for all the areas that are outside that levee protection system, as they do expect the water to start rising in those areas.
They're forecasting the water may be as high as 7 feet tonight, so we just don't take a chance.
For the third time this hurricane season, Vic and BB McElroy are leaving their home in Cocodrie that's under a mandatory evacuation.
It's getting tiresome.
But it's part of being here. I mean, the good times far outweigh the bad.
They live outside the levee protection system, so flooding here isn't rare with a system churning in the Gulf.
Nowadays, with a lot of the erosion we've had in the saltwater marshes, we just don't have much to stop the water from coming in really quick.
According to Parish President Gordon Dove, all 13 floodgates in the parish are closing for the 4th time this hurricane season.
I think we're going to get about 8-9 foot of water, which we can easily handle here in Terrebonne Parish.
And in Chauvin, Jason Terrio is tying up his boat again.
This is the third time.
It's one of many lined up along the bayou as fishermen seek protection from the Gulf.
You got to put bigger ropes, because if your boat breaks loose, they could clip every boat down the bayou.
In Ile-de-Jean-Charles, also in Lower Terrebonne Parish, crews spent Thursday piling up rocks to add protection to this vulnerable area.
With 7 excavators and great awls, and we recaptured the limestone rock that's been put out there for the last decade.
And this has been an unusual year. I mean, it's not every year we're 6 times in a cone.
For now, the McElroys plan to stay at their second home in Houma for a couple days until the storm passes and the inevitable rising waters surrounding their home recedes.
Because it comes up and then it goes back.
Now, all Terrebonne Parish schools are closed tomorrow. There is an evacuation shelter that opened this afternoon. That's in Houma, and there is a curfew that goes into effect at 6 o'clock tonight for all of the areas outside the levee protection system. That's everything south of here, and they will have people on guard to make sure that people aren't getting into that area. Live in Cocodrie, Erica Ferrando, Eyewitness News.
Okay, thank you, Erica. And Terrebonne Parish is not the only area with a mandatory evacuation. Other evacuation orders include Jefferson. There's a mandatory evacuation for Grand Isle and a voluntary evacuation for Jean Lafitte, Lower Lafitte, Crown Point, and Barataria. In Lafourche Parish, there are mandatory evacuations for all areas south of the Leontario Lock and Golden Meadow and all other low-lying areas of Lafourche. Recommended evacuation for residents in mobile homes, and there is a voluntary evacuation for Port Fourchon. Over in PLAQUEMINES Parish, there's a voluntary evacuation order in effect right now for areas from White Ditch to Pointe-a-la-Hache on the east bank and Phillips 66 Alliance Refinery to Venice on the west bank of PLAQUEMINES.